unnecessarily, or I feel bad for our YouTube folks. Please power tap, please. Thank you. Let me just be sure that YouTube is working, then I'll be able to concentrate. Is it working? It's working. Okay, YouTube is gonna come up very soon. It's gonna be very short actually, so no pressure. What are we doing? We're going through the details of things that, again, these things are not new. I'm not manufacturing anything. These things have been in the public space, but they've been hidden in books, or they've been hiding. I can't say they've been hidden. I don't think the person who wrote them decided to hide them, but that the information itself has been hidden away from, to be fair, eyes that are not even prying, to be fair. If we were prying enough, we would have found them. But hopefully with these conversations, we'll be able to actually appreciate what really happened. Just give me a second to be sure that we're good on YouTube, and then we can get into this. I want to read to you, I want to explain what Oshudokun said in passing about, he removed taxes. You know what, let me even say it. Let me start. YouTube, is YouTube good? Bro, we have to make sure that YouTube is good. Oh, good. If you're YouTube, apologies for the break. Nah, I don't know. Oh dear. 1 second, please. Apologies. All right. We are meant to apologize to you. You are doing us a favor. Abi, Ewo. We are all helping ourselves. No, all right. So YouTube, I hope we are good now. Sorry about the break. It's one of those things. Where is that from? Puerto Rican, Jamaican. One Guan Rasta me. Anyway, where were we? I want to read the parts. Let me explain some of this thing. If I don't finish reading this thing, we'll continue on Wednesday. We'll be here tomorrow. Tomorrow is Tuesday. We're going to have a fantastic session tomorrow. There's a video we're going to listen to. Once the game starts, we may also restructure the way we have our classes, but could not affect around. All right. So please hear me out. And this is the crazy thing that you see something very funny. Let me explain. Akintola wanted to remove the flat rate, wanted to abolish the flat rate taxes on women. Now, again, because we're trying to understand this book, not trying to destroy anything, just understand. Listen to what he says here. Professor Jotoko says, the government also abolished payment of taxes by women, a decision which was very popular at the time because of the agitation against women paying taxes since the measure was introduced during the dying days of Awolowo's administration. All right, that's a very, very interesting way to put it, but let me explain what's really happening here. We've already read how everybody was shouting Awo. Sure, you remember, Abi? How everybody was shouting Awo, and we talked about what the drivers told themselves. The Awolowo's driver and Akintola's driver, and the information that he got from Akintola's driver. So we are on the same page, Abi. Please, if you're on YouTube, as soon as you get here, please just like the live. Thank you. So we're on the same page as far as that's concerned, right? So here's where it gets interesting. Everywhere you went, people were shouting, ow, 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 ow. Now, you want to ensure that, and it's natural, by the way, this is human. But you know, one of the laws of power, I think it's in the very first law from Robert Greene. I'm not saying it is a factual book. You may not like it. Some people say it's demonic. I thought the same thing about 20 years ago when I first saw the book, but it ain't. I just wasn't ready for the facts and the stuff. One of the laws is that never outshine your master. Anybody knows that law? Have you ever heard about it? I'm going somewhere because I'm going to see how interesting this is in a second. I'm trying to find a way to say this thing without, I don't want to make anybody appear bad. Never outshine the master. So here's what Akintola was trying to do. I'm not saying it's good or bad, just make of it whatever you will. Everywhere you went, you heard about this great man. Again, Awolowo was larger than life. It was difficult to live at the same time with that kind of person, right? Because everything he did, he made whatever you are doing pale in significance. When you in comparison, when you compare what you are doing with what he is doing, it's as if you are doing nothing, even though you are doing the best. So here's the problem. Here's the point. If I want to make sure that two things, I become more popular, what do I need to do that will transcend what he has done or he is doing? So the first thing that this man had in mind was to remove the flat rate tax on women. But here's the question. Where were those women? Was the tax on women across Yoruba land? No. Was the tax enforced in Oyo division or Osun division, any of the or in Western or Midwest, in Benin and Delta provinces? No. Guess where where the flat rate tax was on the women? Awolowo's backyard. Ijebu, Remo, and Egba. If you as a politician go to Awolowo's backyard, essentially, because Awo is from Ikene, which is Ijebu Remo. Ijebu Remo is very closely linked to Ijebu, so they're essentially one. Egba is just beside them. And with the three regions or three provinces paying that tax, if you remove that tax, what do you think you are saying to his people? Forget whether it's even making you feel anything. But please, we are not Ijebu, we are Remo. You are not listening to what I'm saying, no. Calm down. Nothing. There's nobody that fights for you to be Remo than me. Trust me. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. He is Remo, right? But Remo and Ijebu are connected. Do you understand? You can never break the fact that there was a time when Remo was under Ijebu, when they were under the sovereignty of Aujale before the Akarek. But now, this was in the 1860s there, or 1860s, 1880s thereabout, when I say, we're going to have our own and just be Remo, and then Akarek will be the paramount ruler and not longer under Ijebu. But up until the early 20th century, people still saw that. In fact, that was one of the major issues in the 1930s that affected the chances of the man who eventually became the Odemo of Ishara. That's Obasam Akintola, because the Remo people were trying to assert that thing, like, guys, we are not Ijebu, and what's the word? Obasam Akintola was supporting the Ijebu to still be Ijebu. Again, that's neither here nor there. But the conversation I'm having right now is this: Awo is Remo. Remo is connected to Ijebu people. Egba is just beside them. These are the only three provinces in the entire Western region where the women were paying that flat rate. If you abolish that flat rate in that place, you are sending a message. You are saying that your own hates you, I love you. (1903) No, the Elekpe issue was different. That one is within the Remo. I'm talking about Ijebu and Remo. So here's the point I'm trying to make. You are trying to make him look bad in his own constituency by removing that flat rate. You don't think that is political? It shows they have relationship. No, it doesn't show they have relation. Oh, let me just focus. I've moved on from that whole Remo and Ijebu thing. The point is that the plan that Akintola had, number one, it wasn't very financially wise. We're going to get into it, if not today, much later. But beyond that, it was also a plan to diminish Awo in his own space, so that he then, of course, becomes popular there. It was a political move, essentially. So, Ekamakalo. Only. Chief Akintola pointed out that due to my so he now came and said, okay, let me go back a bit. There were only 3 divisions in which the latter kind of, let's say provinces, I meant divisions. There were only 3 divisions in which the latter kind of tax was paid in the whole of the Western region: Egba division, Ijebu division, and Ijebu-Remo division. In these 3 areas, the flat rate tax on women was 5 shillings, 10 shillings, and £2 respectively. In other words, in Egba, the women paid 5 shillings. In Ijebu, they paid 10 shillings, and then in Ijebu-Remo, that's Awolowo's own place, they paid £2. Which means that Awolowo was taxing his own women more than all the other women in the Western region. Please, let's part up. This is showing activity. If you're on TikTok, this is the last leg. Let's get this into 100k. We'll do 200 the next time we'll come. So think about this. So Egba division was paying 5 shillings. Ijebu division was paying 10 shillings. Ijebu-Remo division, which is Awolowo's constituency because it was Kene, they were paying £2. Which means that Awo was taxing his own women more than the women in those 3 divisions, and he was not even taxing other women across Western region apart from those 3 divisions. Oh, sorry, he was taxing his own women more than the women in the other 2 divisions, and those 3 were the only ones paying that tax, more, and no other woman in any other division in Western region was paying taxes. So it also says in these 3 areas the flat rate was 5 shillings, 10 shillings, and £2 respectively. In parentheses, it is useful to know that I am an Ijebu and that my parliamentary constituency was Ijebu-Remo, a phratry of Ijebu tribe. Chief Akintola point. So the point is that I will not mention that statement for the reason why I just all my Turenchi was to say it is useful to note. It says in parentheses, it is useful to know that I am an Ijebu and that my parliamentary constituency was Ijebu-Remo, a phratry of Ijebu tribe. So if you go to my people and say, I will buy £2 lọ́wọ́ yín, tí ń gọ́tẹ̀ tó wá pọ̀ ju àwọn ti Ìjẹ̀bú àti àwọn Ẹ̀gbá lọ. Nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ ṣe fún yín sì ni pé nǹkan tẹ́yìn sọ yẹn má ti wá sánmọ́ kẹ́ẹ̀dá bí àwọn tó wà lọ́yọ̀ọ́ àbáwọn tó wà ní Benin àbáwọn tó wà ní Warri gbogbo yóò ní san owó orí mọ́. Messiah wa ti dé o. Àwọn náà rí ọ̀ burúkú gangan ni bàbá tó pè láwo lọ́wọ́ yẹn. That's the plan. By the way, Awolowo is not yet broken in case somebody goes to cut that part out. Let's go on. Chief Akintola pointed out that due to my prudent management, the finances of the region were strong. Accordingly, it was not right in his view that the people of the region should continue to be subjected to heavy flat rate tax, as was then the case. The region was affluent and its economy was buoyant. He felt strongly that the people should be made to have a share of the prevailing affluence. In other words, etiko pamo owo wanle. If you read this book, this man is saying that there's no money. This man. Owo wanle. Owo yakpa. Ija no way kitarafuye. There's a lot of money. Let's share it with the people. Let the people have a share of the prevailing affluence. Chief Odebiyi, who is Chief Odebiyi? He was the Minister of Finance. Chief Odebiyi then spoke. He said that he had advised against the Premier's proposals, but obviously in vain. He thought that before a final decision was taken, my views should be consulted, hence the meeting. In my contribution, I made 4 points. First, these actions would amount to a vote of no confidence in the former administration, which in the midst of the region's affluence had insisted that the people should bear the burden of rates and taxes. That's the very first point. Again, these actions would amount to a vote of no confidence in the former administration, which is our administration, which in the midst of the, in other words, when we're having money, we're telling our people to pay taxes. Why? You're going to build this and build that and build this. Cocoa House is going to be built. You're going to build the University of Ife. You're going to build this. You're going to build that. Where will you get that money from? Say, oh, because we have a lot of money, we don't have to pay taxes again. So if you say don't pay taxes again, you are now voting. Your actions will amount to a vote of no confidence in our administration. That's one. Second, it was true that the region's finances were good and strong at the time, but any weakening of the existing position would be imprudent and short-sighted. Should any financial difficulties arise in the future, as they do in all human affairs, the government would find itself unable to cope with them as effectively as it might have been able to if the proposed actions had not been taken. Third, in a developing country such as ours, people should be expected to let me calm down. Third, in a developing economy such as ours, people should be educated to expect to bear an increasing financial share in the state. Once tax was reduced, people would be encouraged to expect further reduction rather than an increase. How true? If the present affluence ceased and it became necessary to call upon the people to pay additional tax, even if it was less than the amount of a previous reduction, the government would be confronted with stiff opposition. The saying was as true as ever: no tax is as good as an old tax. In other words, say they were paying £10. You tell them that you have this altruism, you want to reduce it to £8. If something that happens in government and you want to increase that tax to £9, the people will rise against it. Why? Because they're already used to paying £8. They will expect to pay maybe £6 next time, or £5, or £4, or £3. Since we're all running this economy way, like, this is what's happening in Nigeria right now. You hear people saying things like, see what happened in Germany, see what happens in Norway, nobody pays for anything, you just have this thing. In the UK, if you go there now, you see how people are taken care of. No mention of taxes. This is what you do if you want populism. You want to be loved by the people, right? You want to be popular. So the idea is, if you remove this thing and something happens, where are you going to get more money? Again, this was before, where you can be carrying hats in hand, going to Royal Capital and say, oh, yeah, come and give me money. You're supposed to fend for yourself. Let's continue. Fourth, it was well known that women in Nigeria were deeply averse to the payment of any kind of impost. But it was a studied policy of the last administration that they should be encouraged, where they were able, to share in contributing money into government coffers. The women in Egba, Ijebu, and Ijebu Remo divisions had responded to a considerable extent to government's gentle promptings in this regard. They had not complained, and they served as good examples for women in other parts of the region, who might be brought into their fold as soon as it was judged to be practical politics to do so. The abolition of flat rate tax on women would be a serious setback to this sound policy. At the close of my remarks, I stated that on those very vital issues, it was absolutely essential that the views of the party leaders should be consulted before any final decision or action was taken. Discussions were initiated immediately amongst party leaders. I was also planning to summon a joint meeting of the Regional Executive Committee and Parliamentary Council for some time in March. But on 7th March 1960, Chief Akintola announced his proposed reduction as well as abolition in the terms spelled out to us at the meeting in my house on 10th February 1960. He did this in the teeth of solid opposition from the vast majority of his colleagues inside and outside Parliament. His official advisors were also opposed to what was generally regarded as an extremely short-sighted and retrograde policy. It gets worse, but we'll continue next time. What have we learned so far? Populism. So think about it. You say you want to do this. I'll always give you the reasons why you shouldn't. A meeting was fixed sometime in March. The first week of March, on the 7th of March, you announce as the premier, In other words, you and your advisors agree on that thing. The party doesn't agree with it. Majority of people in parliament don't agree with it, but you go ahead and you do it. And from what even you have said here while listening, it's very short-sighted. But like I said, this is not the worst. This is just the beginning of the wala. It gets worse. And again, we're not doing this to say one person is bad, the other one is good. That's not the point of the conversation. I don't think it helps to think in that manner. But it's also important to understand the details, especially what's happening right now. Let me say what's happening. What's happening right now is that there are people who are putting out materials, books. I have a number of them. And I think it's good to do what they've done, right? To try to help people see the other side of SLA. Excuse me, by saying, oh, it wasn't as bad as you thought. There's something about it that you don't know. Let's go into this part and show him and read those things about him and, write those things. That's good. But what we should not do is rewrite the past because we want to whitewash somebody. That's unfair. We can learn from him, and we will. And next class, I'm going to play some of the things he said about the Igbos, what he said about how they are going to work against, Egbela Kuko. All those things. We'll talk about that, next class. That's next full class. Tomorrow, we'll just listen to something very nice, by the way. When you come, it's sweet. So we don't have to just throw the baby away with the bathwater and say, Akintola is bad, Akintola is bad. That's an extreme. But we also don't have to go to the other extreme of saying, oh, he was a saint. There were things that were done. And the reason this is important is not so we can blame Akintola. It's so we can learn, whether as leaders or as associates, that thing that makes people want to take the shine off their masters usually destroys the entire organization eventually. Never outshine the master is a very, very important rule in the court of power. Maybe in church it's not necessary, even in church it's necessary. Time. Also, please remember the announcement I gave earlier. I'm going to talk about it again tomorrow. We're starting the game show. It's called Redomi Republic. We're going to be discussing history, culture, kinds of things. By Wednesday, you'll be able to apply. Like everybody to apply as many applications as possible, and then every Friday we'll be having the game recording, and then we'll be uploading it the following week. So the idea basically is we'll get into history, Nigerian history, Yoruba history, culture, things like that. And we've learned a lot in the past few months, so let's start testing ourselves. But there'll also be cash prizes to be won, and the format is different from any show you've seen. It's actually quite unique, and by tomorrow I'm going to explain a bit more about it. So please, if you have been reading all the books you have been reading all this while, you come and be part of it. You can compete and get your cash prizes, and then you can also teach us as well as you answer the questions. And then the other part is, if you want to sponsor it as well, please reach out to me on Telegram at Busui Oris, or on Facebook, and we can do this together. Again, it's not a TikTok show. We're not, even what we're doing right now is not TikTok. It is done on TikTok, but it's not for TikTok alone. Right? We're going to use the content and put it out there. Like we have our YouTube channel, Busui Oris Works. We also have a new one we just created today, Redomi Republic. That will be the YouTube channel for the game show. I'll tell you more about it tomorrow. So thank you very much for listening. We're going to go deeper into this whole thing about the Battle for the West on Wednesday, but tomorrow we'll have a recording to listen to. So please come early, 4 p.m. if at time. I'm trying to find the recording. Oh, I found it. Something about Lagos. All right, so 4 p.m. if at time, West African time, that will be tomorrow. Someone says Bat took a learning from Awo. Absolutely. And I see some people who are saying that you cannot compare him to Awo. Calm down. He's not Awo, definitely, clearly, obviously. He's not. But has he learned from him? Obviously, he has. One of these days we'll talk about Bola Tinubu. And you see, you cannot talk about Bola Tinubu without talking about his mother. And a lot of people think of his mother as a market woman, and she was. 0162541. She was a market woman, but a lot of people don't know that she was actually very, very involved in Lagos politics. You know, the woman, okay, I put up, it's showing very clearly. If you'd like to support what we're doing, please use the bank details. Thank you very much. Please use, use the bank details to support what we're doing. Thank you very much. You see, the woman who worked with Albert Macaulay to found the NCNC and who worked with Albert Macaulay to deal with the Oyibo, one day we're going to talk about her. Her name is Alimotu Pelewura. Her assistant was Tinubu's mother. Think about the date I'm talking about, though. I'm talking about the 1930s, 40s. Her assistant, Alimotu Pelewura's assistant was Abibatu Mogaji, Tinubu's own mom, who then went on to become the leader of market women. Right? If you think that a person like that will raise a young man that will go into politics in that same Lagos and become senator in 92, 93, and become governor in 99, you don't think that woman would have explained some things, or you don't think that he would have been smart enough to actually study the man that her mother also favored? I'm sorry, that his mother also favored. Abba. Someone says there's mystery concerning Tinubu. I don't care about the mystery. I care about the one I can see. Why are people concerned about what they don't know about his? Okay, number one, what's the mystery about him? Have you seen Wale Tinubu of recent? I don't know if he's still the CEO of Wando. You don't see the uncanny resemblance between him and President Bola Tinubu. Has the family ever complained that they don't know him? That's not my business. My business is look at the politics. Listen, if you want to do the general thing everybody is always doing, hey, we don't like him, you know, he's political, where is his father? You can do that. That's not what this platform is meant for. We're learning from history. Okay, you don't know him, he's your president. What are you going to do about it? You don't know his father, okay. There's something he's doing right, obviously. So what is that thing, and what can I learn from it? And how do I apply that in my life or in my work or whatever? That's the point. It doesn't have a father. You don't know his father. He just from heaven is a mysterious clinical, but he's in the country now. Me, I have my father. You know my father. Am I the president? No. So what's the point? But I don't even think it's that big of a deal, to be honest. Personally, because the woman, whether she was biological mother or adoptive mother, she never denied him. She never denied him. And when I look at him, I look at Wale Tinubu, they don't look as if they don't know each other. And they're not brothers, they're cousins. And there's the other police officer that was in politics. What's his name? It's his uncle, Tinubu. The family did not say they don't know him. That's not even my business. My point is that Awo, one of the people that eventually worked with Awo was Madam Abibatu Mogaji, who had been in politics since the days of Albert Macaulay. Right? And when someone said that Tinubu must have learned from Awo, I believe he must have. And by the way, if you are interested in politics, please, if you see any book and you see Awolowo on it, buy it. Please. Even if you're not interested in politics, you just want to be knowledgeable about these things, please buy Awo's books. Whether books that he wrote or books that are written about him. And the beautiful thing is that he wrote a lot of books. Let me recommend a few. Adventures in Power Book 1, A March Through Prison. Adventures in Power Book 2, Traverse of Democracy and the Rule of Law. My Early Years. Awo, the Autobiography of Chief Awolowo. Voice of Reason, Voice of Wisdom. What's the other one? Voice of Truth. That's 7. Let's go and those ones first. And then the books are written about him. Political Moses, Oduguwa, the one by Abegunde. There are many books about this man. Path to Nigerian Freedom, God bless you. That's the very first book. The People's Republic, that's another one. Thoughts on Nigerian Constitution, that's another one. Strategies of Power, that's another one. That's a lot. By the time you read 2 or 3 of those books, even your head will change, your mind will change. All right. I think when we were younger, my own father was an Awolowo, so he used to buy Tribune every day. Can you drop the list somewhere? No. You just go on Telegram channel, go on Redomi Books, you will find it. You will see Awolowo section on Redomi Books. You can find the books there. That will help us. It will help me and you. Redomi Books on Telegram. t.me/Redomi Books. When you get there, just click on. You will see different categories or different sections. You see above. Well, let me show you. We don't finish for today. I was trying to make it, and I think we did. But let me just answer the person so that way. Because when you get to Redomi Books, you will see general political science and history, Awolowo books, biographies, faith, Nigerian Civil War, Yoruba books, African series, Busuyori's books, children's books. Click on the Awolowo's books. You will see a number of the books. Let me read the ones we have. Why am I even saying offhand? I could have just come here. The autobiography is there. I want Nigerian Civil War. This I want the Trail of a Titan is no longer in print. I want Finished Greatness. There are many books. Just go there. You'll find a lot of books by Papa and about him as well. I want Nigerian Civil War is actually very brilliant. If you're looking for the transcript of the meeting between Papa and Ojuku's people in May 6 and May 7, 1967, you'll find it's in that book, Awo on the Nigerian Civil War. You should get it. Once you get to this Redomi Books on Telegram, go to Awolowo book section. You will see books about him, and then you can just, strategies and tactics of the People's Republic of Nigeria. You like everything. Voice of courage, voice of reason, voice of wisdom. Awolowo folk hero. And by the way, you could also buy folk hero for your children to make sense. There's some other books like that, but let's start with these ones first. By the time you read some of these ones, even you notice that you are changing, because you are hearing from the sage himself. Let me tell you one very funny stuff. I still don't understand how to chat this Redomi stuff. Am I missing something? Okay, can you put me through? Let me put you through. So I'm going to type something in the comment section. Please copy it and paste it in your browser. Okay? So there's something there now. All right. You see t.me/Redomi Books. Please copy that, paste it in your browser, whether Chrome or Mozilla or whatever, or Opera. Once you send that's your URL. Once you send it, it will take you to the Telegram channel. Then you can join. The same thing for Redomi Books. You can do for Redomi Global and also, both of them. Redomi Republic is not a channel. It's just it's an handle that you can chat with. Redomi YouTube link Redomi YouTube link is on Redomi Global. So let me type that one as well. So Redomi Books is for books. Redomi Republic is the game, but you'll find it in Redomi Global. So there's a link to Redomi Global there. Please or you can just type Redomi Global. Just search, go on Telegram, just type it and search Redomi Global. You find it, and then you can join. When you join it, you find the link to the YouTube channel we're trying to build as we get ready for game show that will be starting in November, but the recording will start from then on. Every Friday will be for nothing. You're not supposed to send a message. What you want to do is to buy a book. It's not a place to send messages. Thank you. There's Jesus. Mombo Jesus Christi. Maybe I'm the one. Maybe I'm not explaining very well. Just a second. Okay, you know what? Let me just repeat. I beg everybody, please go by the Danone. Let's help ourselves. So, as soon as you join, you're going to find this. You're going to find a message, welcome to Redomi Books, right? Then you will see this stuff, how to place order on Redomi Books. The account you're supposed to talk to or you're supposed to chat with, you find it there. Just click on that account, it's Redomi Realm. Once you click on it, then you'll be able to chat. So you chat with Redomi Realm to buy books on Redomi Books, but you'll not be able to just type inside it because it's a bookshop. It's not really a forum. You get the point? Okay. Thank you for understanding. Thank you. My way, you're laughing. Good to see you. So we'll see again tomorrow, 4 p.m. Agomeri, 4 p.m. Ife time, West African time. We'll be here to continue the conversation. But tomorrow will be about Lagos, and then Wednesday we'll continue this particular conversation. There are some things that you have. Let me not say you have not heard, because I don't know what you have heard, but most people haven't heard about that we're going to talk about on Wednesday. You got it now. Praise God. I have to do testimony time that you got it. I always I don't usually see you. So if you want to buy the book, what you have to do is you will see how to buy books there. You will see how to place an order on Redomi Books. Send your order. So message Redomi Realm with the titles of the book. So you can screenshot or you can just copy and then you keep it somewhere that you post everything through Redomi Realm. Just click on this. I want to buy this, They will now say, we confirm the book is available. We'll send you the cost of the books and delivery. You then make payment. They will then ship it to you, and then you receive your books. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. People here, for instance, who have bought the books in Canada. People have ordered from the UK. There's even somebody that ordered from Saudi Arabia, but eventually they send the books somewhere in Lagos. A lot of people in different parts of Nigeria as well, in Lagos, in Ibadan, do you have one in Akure? In different parts, right? So regardless of where you are, the book will get to you. Someone says, joining your platform is indeed an eye-opener for me. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you very much for being here as well. I do appreciate that. Again, remember, by Wednesday, you'll be able to apply to become a contestant. You will like it, by the way. No stress. My moderator just arrived. I need to play music. Let me clap for her as she enters majestically. That special monitor is coming at the end of the session, but thank you. Anyway, we're going to have you'll be able to apply to join to be a contestant from Wednesday. I'll send the link, but please check Redomi Republic on Redomi Realm. If you notice also the stuff here, the account here is also now Redomi Republic. So Redomi Republic everywhere. The game show will start. The recording will start October 24. I'll say it again tomorrow until we get there. I bet Prof, make we talk behind closed door. Okay, sir. Sir, just becoming bad now. Yeah. It's actually. I think she said she was busy with some projects. Last time we spoke, I think she's still very busy with them. I don't miss today, Prof. Ada. So we're going to listen to our anthems before we go, the Nigerian anthem and also the Yoruba anthem. We'll talk more about the game show, Redomi Republic. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. But please look out, whatever you can do to support it, whether you want to give, or you want to sponsor, you want to connect us with whatever. It's not, again, TikTok is a place for recording, just like you would have come to the studio, right? Instead of flying from the US all the way from the US to come and record, in this wonderful place, all you have to do is stay in your house and be on TikTok. It's just to record. Doesn't mean that it's a TikTok show. It's a place to record and then I'll put it on our YouTube channel and blast it everywhere. All right. May God bless us. Thank you very much for being here. I'm going to play the anthems now, the Nigerian anthem and the Yoruba. And I want to thank everybody who has been part of today's session, whether you're on TikTok, on YouTube, or Facebook, or Twitter. Thank you for power tapping and for sharing and for liking and for, all the things that you did. I really do appreciate it. And thanks to those who also gifted me. Thank you for your generosity. And thank you for those who are also using the bank details. Someone says, you don't post account. Beggar, I told you, no food for lazy man. Your parents are lazy. The laziness can literally be seen in you. There's value. When you create value, you're also rewarded for it. But you wouldn't know that because this is not a place to sell fake drugs. All right. It's good to have today's session. We'll be here again tomorrow. But for those of us on YouTube, we're going to have to let you go because of the anthem and the copyright issue so that the music doesn't get into any of these things. Oh, wow. Somebody says they have companies that could sponsor us. Oh, yes. I need all the help I can get. See, tomorrow I'll explain to you what the cash prices will look like. We're doing it in a different way. There are different rounds. Like you win an amount every round, and then when you get a particular round, you either double it or you half it. It's going very nice, and then there is multiple questions. There's what you can ask the people. It's a different kind of game, but it will teach history, Yoruba history, Nigerian history at the core. So think of any of the game shows you like. It's like a mix of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Maso Yimbo. But we are speaking Yoruba, we are speaking English, by the way. But the point is that the idea is not just to sit down on TikTok and do stuff. It's actually to sit down on TikTok, do stuff, and then put it out there. And then we'll get sponsors and so on and so forth. So please look forward to that. Let's look forward to that, and then we'll talk more about it tomorrow. Thank you very much for being here. I want to appreciate everybody who has been part of today's session. Thank you for... Somebody said Jeopardy. Yes, Jeopardy. Something similar, but oh yeah, Tosha. I just mentioned Jeopardy because we have is a big show. It's better to compare ourselves with big shows, right? That's the plan. I like it about it. I like it. We'll do the screen in a different way. We have one person come up at time, and then on Fridays, we'll be doing every Friday. On the Friday, we could have 2, 3, 4 people depending on how much time we have, and then to bat the tombo. So I said to bat tele won whatever she want visitor and want marry, o ma jẹ́ kí a máa tún gbé ògbẹ́ lárugẹ, a máa fi tàtọ́sán, a máa fi máa kọ́ ìtàn ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àti ìtàn Nàìjíríà. Ó gba àwọn kíní ojúkú tó máa ń parọ́ fún wa yẹn. That show will be a very good place, and then the audience will also be involved, so it's going to be very lovely. All right. Okay. So thank you, and please reach out if you'd like to support what we're doing. I really would need your help to get it done because we'll start small, so that we will not be doing 1 billion naira cash prizes just yet. We'll start small and then we'll grow with time. But I'll let you know tomorrow so we can maybe even discuss it, who knows, after listening to the piece on Lagos, which is tomorrow's topic. All right, so 4 p.m. if time West African time will now be our time of meeting every weekday, Mondays to Fridays. To have a lovely evening. Folks on YouTube, we're going to let you go because we're about to play our anthems. May God bless you and keep you. May God bless Nigeria. And Yoruba people, may we not have a situation where we'll be Jirawa saying, where we'll be trying to upset the balance for whatever reason, whether it's because of populism or because we're tired of the person who is leading, or we just don't like the face of the person, which is why you understand. Now, I'm sure by the time we are done with this series, you understand why Pastor Tunde Bakare said what he said last week. When he said that a certain governor, he said a person who used to be a governor in Southwest had reached out to him to join ADC. And he made a statement. He said, we will never have this situation like Awolowo versus Akintola in Yoruba land again. He said it. That may God not let us have Awolowo versus Akintola in Southwest anymore. There's a reason he said that. It is not that Tinubu is perfect. It's not that Awolowo was perfect. It is that there's a structure that you work with. And if you want to create something new, create it without destroying what you are coming out of. That's the issue we had, and that's what we're also having. But that thing will not affect us as a people. We'll never go back to the day of 1962 or 65, where everything scattered and we had wet here. Not in Yoruba land and not in Nigeria, by God's grace. Thank you very much for being part of today's session. I'll see you again tomorrow at 4 p.m. if it's West Africa.